Guys, welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm May.
And I'm Laura, and today we've got a whole bunch of stories. I have possibly the worst tweet a news agency could do.
Great.
KTLA had a really bad day last week. We'll talk about it. Blue Origin sent the first all-female space launch into space.
Insert eye roll.
We will talk about that as well. And people made, as usual, some bad choices at Coachella.
Great. I'm going to be talking about LeBron James's feet.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. A 45-year-old woman is ending her marriage over a flirtatious encounter with a celebrity. We'll talk about that. What makes men fall for women? The answer might surprise you. And
it's boobs.
It's boobs. It's boobs.
No, I know it's boobs.
It's boobs, butts, explosions. And a woman finds out that her lingering pain after a C-section was indeed not normal.
Oh
so
my
we'll talk about
God.
those.
Did someone leave a rag in her?
Well, we'll talk about it.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, no spoilers. All right, enjoy.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money.
Hold on.
From that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's Risque Business News.
How are we doing over there?
Oh, we're good. I just got my first period since giving birth.
Congratulations, guys. Pour one
Thank
out for the
you.
period. We don't have any drinks right now.
Hello, male listeners. Goodbye, male listeners.
Yes.
I'm just joking.
Thank you for being here.
It won't all be period talk. Some, but not all. But yeah, I am now officially a standard woman again.
Wow. Welcome back to the party. It's not great.
Yeah, I'm not having a good time.
I wouldn't recommend actually joining this group.
I was like so sad and like writhing with guilt and my mind was racing last night. I couldn't fall asleep.
Which is wild because we had a lovely day.
No, we had a wonderful time.
It was like a perfect spring soiree.
I had a spring soiree at my home with a bunch of my dear friends, and for some reason I went to bed being like, everyone's mad at me. I'm failing as a parent, as a wife.
It was a picturesque. There were children everywhere, but everybody was behaving. It was like adorable.
Yeah, it was
There
nice.
was like the cutest baby like cook-off going on, you know? Whose baby was cutest? It was a really sitcom era, like just flat Americana situation.
It was nice. There was steep competition too.
There was a lot of cute babies.
Were cute.
They were cute. They were bringing it.
Everyone was buzzed, but no one was trashed.
It was
but
perfect.
then, it was a great situation, except for me. I got trashed towards the end of the night, but whatever.
Well,
What are you going to do? And then, I went to bed. I was like, wow, I can't believe what a failure I am at everything I do.
That's literally being a lady.
And then I woke up with my period. So here we are. It's a new journey for me. Here we go.
Hey, well, welcome back.
I know.
I went to my first Passover.
Yes.
Last night.
How was this?
It was fun. I went post-spring soiree, so I'd had a little bit to drink. Not too much. And then I get there and I was like, 4 glasses of wine. Don't mind if I do. That is a Jewish tradition and that fucking rules.
It really does.
It really
I
does.
love that.
I ended the night talking about like the tariffs.
Oh, God. They're like,
Me and
lady.
these like elderly Jewish people, and I'm like, that tariffs, and then he took them back, and like it's just gonna really ruin the faith in the markets.
Oh my God. And this Jewish family is like, we don't know you.
Get out of here.
We do not know you.
Good night, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Eat some more gefilte fish.
I called you an Uber.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Wait, that's fucking hilarious. So it was your friend's family.
My friend's family.
Yes.
It was fun. It was great. The food,
I mean, Jewish people, no offense, Jewish people, but they're not exactly known for their food.
like there were
Be
some
real with
good
you.
things. There was like a couple dishes where I was like, all right, I can get behind this. But then a lot of it was like pickled for no reason. I
I
wasn't
hate the pickling for no reason.
sure what that was all about, but I ate it and I was very respectful. Only was being disrespectful here.
Yeah.
I saved my disrespect for the pod where I could put it on the air.
Right. Let's clip this.
Clip this.
it.
Yeah, clip this. Hashtag Jewish. And I'm like, oh no.
I fucking hate. Like, remember, I don't know, it was like probably 10 years ago now, maybe even more than that, where everything was pickled. There'd be like pickled vegetables and everything.
They did really.
Disgusting.
They really went on a pickling spree.
Pickled
and they
eggs. Like, people were going crazy.
It's disgusting, and they have so much salt.
So much salt.
It's like the worst way to eat salt because
I
then you
hate
end
it.
up all swollen for what? You didn't even have a basket of chips.
Right. Which
The best
that
way to
sounds
eat
good.
salt.
That
That's
is a
the
good
best
way.
way.
Now, when you say chips, are you being British about French fries, or do you mean literal chips?
No, well, actually, both. I guess I meant real chips. I'm not an idiot. Tortilla chips.
Yeah.
Where I eat 25 tortillas and I go, oh, that was a nice appetizer. Someone told me that once. We've talked about this, right? Where it's literally just frying a full tortilla and cutting it into fourths. And I'm like, snacks.
It's crazy.
I would feel guilty about eating one tortilla on a taco.
Of course.
But not when it's about 20 of them fried.
With guacamole.
With guacamole.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was my day.
Nice.
What do you got story-wise?
So story-wise, all right, let's start with this. So I came across on Instagram this funny little tidbit that says that a man is more likely to fall for you if you do something that scares them.
Oh, that's true.
Wait.
Well, maybe I guess you just got to get their attention. It's kind of like a clip on the internet
Oh
where
my
it needs to
God.
be like grab you at the beginning.
Yeah.
You got to have something out the gate to be like, yeah.
Right.
Pay attention, especially if you're guys. They don't pay attention to shit.
I guess. I mean, that's why I send nudes as Samara from The Ring, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then also... yeah, and then just once a quarter, I just sneak up on Mark in the shower with a butcher knife, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
just to keep it
yeah.
spicy in our relationship.
Absolutely.
Keep him aroused.
Absolutely. And that's why you're still married.
That's why we're still married. It's like threaten him.
You got to make sure they're
Daily.
on their toes, otherwise they get bored and their dick falls in someone or something. You're
Something
"Whoa."
like that. Yeah, you should just like hack into their accounts every once in a while and bankrupt them. Just like really.
Yeah, just be like, crazy.
So scary.
I'm so quirky.
I'm so quirky. You're never going to find another girl like me.
Wait, so why did they say, what is the basis for this one?
I don't know. Basically, just psychologists say that fear can spark attraction. There's something that has to do with the adrenaline rush of being scared.
Okay.
It could be similar to a romantic excitement. So they're like, if they do something together, like a roller coaster, watching a horror movie, stuff like that, it could make you feel closer to the other person.
Okay. I feel like fear is not the right word for what we're describing here. Adrenaline rush, like they're horny.
Yeah, maybe
They want to fuck. Like that's an adrenaline rush too. These researchers
guess.
really jumped to. It was like one woman who was really trying to like justify going crazy on someone.
Right. She was like, no, that time that I threw all of his clothes into the street and then called his boss and sent him the images I found on his phone. That
was for research.
No. I sent his mother
Science.
the voicemail that he sent me. That was science. That was me doing my job and doing it well. By the way, we love a girl boss.
We do love a girl boss.
What's the craziest thing you've done to scare a man into being attracted to you?
To scare a man? I feel like I've always given them little quests. Like once I had this guy who I was hooking up with back in the day, and I was like, oh, come. I was staying at a hotel, and I was like, oh, come over. And it was blizzard outside. It was full scale Boston blizzard.
Oh my God.
Like no one goes out. Only the snowplows are out at that point, and barely. And I was like, make it happen. And he did. Man fucking walked.
Wow.
Walks
What?
through a blizzard. Yeah.
Wow. Did you hook up with him at
Yeah,
least?
of course.
Thank
What are you talking
God.
about? Can you
That would be so rude.
Good night.
There are women that would do that.
I know.
Though. And then they would be like, he's not owed anything, even though I invited him into my house. And it's like, well, you literally asked him to come over and
literally
what are the
hiked
implications?
through a blizzard to get to me. And I was like, that was some adrenaline. That was some fear and adrenaline that I gave him.
If they wanted to, they would.
If they wanted to, they would. Mm-hmm. And he did want to, and he did. So,
Good for him.
Yeah.
I hope
good
you're
for him.
listening.
I hope he's listening. Great guy.
Yeah.
Not getting married to him, so yeah, whatever. Dodged a bullet there.
This first comment here is from Broke Bird 666. They say, "Go ahead, girl, hit him with your car."
Yeah, Carrie Underwood's feeling real vindicated right now.
Right. Someone goes, "Easy. Don't be more confident than them." That's funny. Holding themselves accountable and calling them out, that scares them. That's funny.
They don't like that. That's true.
Yeah.
Have you ever scared a guy?
I think I've scared Mark before by like compiling evidence and presenting it as though I'm a lawyer for disproving his lies.
Well, that's fun.
I mean,
that's just fun.
It's just like it's just so easy sometimes. I'll like lay it out. I'll be like, "In this date, you lied to me, and I have proof of it here, but I didn't say anything because I was waiting for you to do the second lie. And this is the second lie that you told me to cover up for the first lie, but I was already on to you 2 weeks prior to that lie. And I let it slide because I'm cool and chill, obviously.
As you can tell from slide 3, I am a cool and chill girl.
You have no idea how lucky you are.
So he's lucky that you presented the evidence out the gate, because my favorite is having the evidence, setting entrapping questions.
Of course.
Waiting for them to fall for those, and then just being like, boom,
Yeah.
bitch.
And then starting the sentence with, that's so interesting. That's so interesting you'd say that.
Really interesting you'd say that. That's when, that actually struck fear into my heart.
Yeah.
I'm scared right now.
Yeah. Well, Mark is famously a liar, so it's
it's
you know,
comic.
you catch him quite a bit.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
yeah.
That's true. Is he famously a liar? I don't know.
Yes, he is.
Oh,
He's
really?
like famously a liar. Me and Joe List talk about it all the time.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, he has like a lying problem. He really
That's
does.
so funny.
Yeah.
That is a thing for people.
I know. No, he's crazy. He's a
Where
lying
they just
problem.
like enjoy it.
Yeah.
Fantastic actors.
I mean, not Mark. He stinks at acting.
Well, then what
he's
the
also
fuck?
famously
Maybe
really
he's lying
bad
about
actor. Yeah. Maybe he is lying about that. By the way, it's so funny. He's always like, you know, he's does a gajillion things all the time, but he was like selling some show and they were like, so you're going to play X in the show? And he was like, no, we have to hire somebody. I'm like a really bad actor. And he's like, and every single director and producer is always like, no, you could be great. And he's like, I'm telling you I'm a bad actor. They're like, no, you can act. And he's like, no one believes me.
I promise you. I would if I could.
Exactly. I think they
Directors,
look at it,
he would if he could.
but I think he's like, I think they see this situation like, oh, you could learn. And he's like, yeah, I could also learn how to play the piano, but I'd rather just
Outsource this.
Yes,
To a
exactly.
professional who's very good at it.
Yeah. Acting is much harder than people give it credit for.
Oh, it's very difficult.
Very difficult.
It's also like, not to bring it back to White Lotus, because that's all we fucking talk about nowadays. But in White Lotus, it was so nice how amazing all those actors were. And then when Xavier came in,
oh my
it
God.
became so obvious.
Wait, what's his name? Xavier? I thought it was Zion.
Fuck.
It's Zion.
Zion.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he was horrible. He was fucking terrible.
He was Disney Channel original movie level acting.
He really was.
And
God bless.
It made like every other character just pop, because you were like,
Yeah.
and you could tell they were like, what the hell is this guy doing here?
Yeah. That
I
was
don't remember
such a bad
Belinda.
casting.
I don't remember the actress's name. For
Yeah, I
her.
don't mean either. I don't
But
know.
that one scene where she's acting with him and she's just like, what the fuck? And he's
Really?
like, I got my MBA, and she's like,
Yeah, it was just not. It just wasn't.
It was a very critical scene in which she's literally negotiating with a man who murdered.
Yeah.
You know, he's a murderer, and he is acting like an idiot.
But like literally acting like an idiot. Like he
Acting
was
like an idiot
acting poorly.
Like an idiot.
Right. He was
You'd think
supposed
that'd
to
be
be
easy.
acting. He was supposed to be acting like an overconfident
Yeah.
MBA person, whatever. But it was like it did not.
No, it was like Kids Bop version.
Oh man, it was really bad.
He
It was
was
really, really bad.
Unbelievably attractive, though. So I'll give him
Yes.
a pass.
He was unbelievably attractive.
I will allow it.
All right. She's allowing it.
Yep, I'll allow it.
Anyway, right in with your most scary things you do.
Yeah, please.
You just show up all the time with the fucking Saw mask on outside his house.
I feel like for women to scare men, it's always something emotional. Like if we came up to them with a knife, they'd be like, "Aw,
yeah, yeah.
oh, you're gonna attack me? Oh, she's
Quirky.
scary,
Oh, she likes her
scary.
and her
She's
pranks.
crazy. Look at this. What is it? BDSM over
Yeah.
here." I'm like, "No, I'm trying to attack you." Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. No, we give them like little mind games where it's like, oh, what do you think about like Christy? And if he's like,
Yes.
if he's like too aggressively nasty about Christy, it's like,
You're fucking crazy.
yeah, you're obvious, or you want to fuck Christy. But
Yeah.
then if he's too nice, it's like you hate Christy.
Yeah. What's that all about?
Yeah. Everything's a trap.
It's true. Speaking of people making fearful decisions, well, I don't know exactly. But anyway, I want to talk about KTLA, the Los Angeles news station, had a wildly embarrassing slip up. KTLA is in the hot seat after they posted on X the N-word.
What? Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Straight up the N-word. Like the intrusive thoughts, one.
Wait a minute, with the ER?
Yeah. Hard ER N-word.
Shut up.
From their official verified checkbox news account.
See, this would make sense if it was from like POTUS or something like that.
yeah. Yes, exactly.
If it was from whitehouse.gov.
If JD Vance tweeted it, we'd be like, oh yeah,
Well, that makes a lot of
course.
sense. But so what is the context of which they were quoting a rap music video,
were-
okay? That's
They were
why.
calling people that. No, they apparently accidentally posted it. It got posted. The internet was like, hello? What is that? What are those?
So like that was it. That
It was
the whole
just
tweet?
the N-word.
What?
So funny. I mean, it's like wild.
Who the fuck did,
Like I think an intern, some social media intern just had like a mental breakdown or something. Like the intrusive thoughts genuinely came through.
maybe someone got fired and they were like, you know what?
Could have been a disgruntled employee.
Let's just post this on here and make this newscast look insane. And
Yes.
they have. So what
And
did they say?
They did. In response, they obviously deleted it. Not before the internet screenshotted the shit out of it.
course.
I would have the screenshot, but like I don't even feel comfortable with the screenshot.
No, I get it. Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? I'm all right. I think we're just gonna let that
Yeah.
live in the internet. If you want to go see proof,
yeah.
have at it. But they tweeted a follow-up and said, hey, KTLA experienced a technical error while adding language filters to our social media accounts,
Sure.
resulting in an offensive word being
Maybe.
accidentally shared. We are appalled and apologize that this occurred. There is the chance potentially that, you know how you can go and like do the filtering?
Yeah.
So like you
Yeah.
can filter your responses or whatever. But I don't know why you would think that adding a filter in the settings page is the same as straight up tweeting an offensive word.
I'm like, maybe
What
it's an intern, maybe it's a boomer.
Yeah, it was like this, like the 85-year-old grandmother of someone like come in there and try to update the social media settings.
Right.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? That reminds me of back in the day when our parents would have Facebook and they would like, they would be like typing into, they'd think it was the search bar, but it wasn't. And they would just type in like
Yes.
your aunt's name, be like, Lucy, whatever, bitch. And like, like
Yeah, they're
sandwich
like,
mass.
call me. And they're just like posting it as a status to
Right.
their aunt. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. No, I mean, I think the reality is it probably was either a disgruntled employee or like an intern doing some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, we had an intern on one of our meetings and there was a whole bunch of people doing like a training with everyone. And you know how you can annotate on Zoom?
No.
There's like a feature on Zoom where you can like have a little, you know, marker or whatever and mark different portions of the screen. It's useful for like, look at this over here.
Okay.
I don't think this kid realized everybody sees the annotations,
Oh
the
my
entire
God.
Zoom, drawing dicks on the
No. And you could see who did
screen.
it?
See who did. We're just watching this like, I don't know, 19-year-old boy. He looks like 15, but you know, at that
Oh
age,
my
they
God,
basically
yeah.
all look extremely young. And he's drawing dicks, just happy as a clam on the Zoom screen.
Oh.
And they're just like removing it as quickly as they can. The hosts are just taking it down.
Holy shit. That is
It's
iconic.
labeled with his name.
I hope that young man is doing something
I
great.
don't think he's going to get a follow-up offer.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get invited back.
Young men throughout history have really liked drawing dicks, specifically with the little lines
I like
of
drawing
jizz
dicks,
coming
to
out
be
of them.
fair.
People-
I enjoy it as well. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. It's just soothing.
It is soothing.
It's nice. It's just good things
That
to
is
have.
so fucking funny. That's crazy.
But I would rather be that intern than the KTLA intern or whomever it was who tweeted the N-word
Yeah.
from the Los Angeles media station. It's not like Arkansas where you're like, well,
Okay, but I don't think anybody with like
Well-
Arkansas would not
Well-
like that either.
eh.
Oh my goodness.
No, specifically LA though, they're gonna be big mad.
Of course.
Big mad. Anywhere, but specifically there, yikes.
That's so fucking funny.
Oh, it cracked me up.
I don't have this as one of my stories, but I did see whilst doom scrolling, I saw that there was a woman who went undercover in New York, and she was dating all these conservative guys, and she said that one thing that was like super interesting, because you would think you'd be like conservative guys in New York, there's probably not that many just because
Yeah.
New York's such a liberal city.
I did see this story.
But she was saying that like when they would be in front of their friends, they would be speaking liberal, is what she called it. And then behind their backs, like they liked, you know, Andrew Tate. They would show her all this
So they were
alt-right
undercover?
content. Yeah,
They
they
were
were
code-
also undercover, I guess.
They were code switching.
They were code switching.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Probably
I gotta get more info on that. It'd be
Probably
fun.
more in New York. Yeah, we should look into that more. I saw that go across my feed, but I didn't click in, and I would like to read that full article.
I mean, it is interesting, the demographics, because I feel like most, and this is sweeping generalizations, but I think like obviously we saw in the election that a lot of young men have gone more right. and women are going more left. And so I'm like, they're dating each other. So I'm like, how much of this are men lying or women lying?
A lot.
You know? And so it's like, it's such a sad life to leave. You know what I mean?
I
That'd
know.
that'd be so awful if I couldn't talk things through and be
on the
regular,
same page as your partner.
or just be able to like have a constructive conversation. Like me and Mark don't agree 100% on everything, but we can have a regular conversation and not be like, you are the devil.
It's
You know
also
what I
like
mean?
fundamental pieces, you know, like the fundamental ones need to probably be there.
Yeah.
Then there's the bonus stuff where you're like, all right, well,
Right.
you know,
Right.
I'm not going to list them because people will be like, what? That's not bonus. How dare you?
Right. I'm like,
All right.
It's true.
Relax.
but yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. There's just like some blonde girl. You'll probably see her on your feeds.
Yeah. I think we should do that one for the next week.
Yeah.
Because I would like to look into that. Meanwhile, though, I will tell you about Blue Origin just completed the first all-female space mission ever, but instead of sending real astronauts or scientists, they decided to send Katy Perry.
Katy Perry, can I tell you, she is always about 5 years late on these feminist
That's
stuff.
literally, I wrote the whole thing felt very 2014 girl boss.
That's hilarious.
Performative feminism coded. Like,
Yes.
and she was so obnoxious the whole time.
Yes, of course she was. She's Katy Perry.
My God, the whole thing. Like, I know calling things cringe is cringe now. Like,
Yeah.
cringe is back in. However, this was just old school cringe. Like, this whole thing
Yeah.
just needed to not be a thing. It really pissed me off. Like, the rest of the crew was the Blue Origin New Shepard mission NS-31. So I guess they've done 31 of these at this point. But it was Jeff Bezos' fiance, Lauren Sanchez. I get it. That, I guess, makes sense. Television host Gayle King, film producer Carrie Ann Flynn, former NASA rocket scientist turned activist Aisha Bao. So, okay, at least she used to be a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
And then a civil rights activist, Amanda Nguyen. Notably, no one knew shit about space.
Well,
except for the Nguyen who had studied astrophysics and Aisha.
Wasn't it also being completely controlled by AI on the ground?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
They weren't doing anything in this. Like, they were sitting there. And here's the thing. If they just called this, like, space tourism,
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, it's fine. But, like, they're billing it like this was, like, an accomplishment for women.
Yeah.
It pisses me off a little bit.
No,
Like,
it's crazy.
It's just like, I'm like, Katy Perry just was there with a daisy promoting literally her next tour.
Yeah.
She had a sign up that she was holding up the tracks she was going to play on her, what is this called? Lifetime tour or something like that.
God, she is the classic, in my opinion, dork. Like, she doesn't know, she's however old she is. I don't know how old she is, probably pushing 40 at least. And she truly does not know who she is at all. She is, in my opinion, it feels like everything in her entire life has been curated by a PR team that does a really bad job and makes her look very soulless and without any ounce of creativity, which is so funny because you would think, like, she thinks that her performances and her persona is so creative, but it's just such a rip-off of everyone else.
So she's like, look at this crazy outfit I'm in. I'm like, yeah, but that's not really what we're talking about. Like, how your insides need to be different.
Yeah, it's not.
You're like, the first article I clicked on for the Katy Perry thing was advertising all the makeup she wore on this trip. It was L'Oreal, if you're curious.
I just don't understand. Like, did they have to do training? I'm sure they had to train
It was
little.
2 days of training. The whole thing was 11 minutes. It was really short. Okay. I really don't even mind them going.
No.
But the fact that they were like, big step for women, like history, all female space astronauts. And like, that's awesome. We want to have that be, but I want nerdy space bitches only.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
How pissed would you be if you were some woman who, you know, slept with 0 dudes, works only with incels? I'm making that up. But, you know, I would imagine there's a fair amount involved. And just didn't get this opportunity. But freaking Katy Perry is being sent up there.
Yeah, for like no
and
reason.
Oprah's best friend. Why?
Nobody knows.
Gayle King. Why? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Don't know.
And also, it's not clear if they paid. I don't think they did, because I think it was part of this, like, supposed to be like a celebrity PR thing.
Yeah, but the whole thing is like, who gives a shit, honestly.
Ugh, I don't like it. No, I don't like it. I mean, I feel like either tell me how much money they spend, or
I mean, did the women at least make the AI, or is that just something that's being...
they didn't do anything. No, they literally said Katy Perry allegedly sang "What a Wonderful World" in space.
Okay, good.
Great.
Yeah, whatever.
It's kind of like you remember in 2020 when all the celebrities did, what was it?
Yes.
Imagine.
Oh, that
Oh,
was
it's the
crazy
same
cringe.
energy.
Yeah.
Where also, like, read the room. Women are. We don't need performative feminism right now. We need kind of like real feminism.
Yeah.
Things are interesting.
God, that's hilarious. I mean, at least she didn't sing one of her own songs, so there's that. That's a win.
No, but she still held up her tour to get people. She's like and subscribe,
Never
buy tickets.
ever forget when she came out with that song recently. It was so terrible. It was like, "It's a woman's world and we're lucky to be living in it." And that was what I mean.
Leave her in space.
Where it's like that would have slapped in 2018 when people were being dorks about this kind of thing.
Yes.
And I would have, for the record, I would have always rolled my eyes at a song like that. But
I would have rolled my eyes at it, but then I would have had like 6 cocktails and been like, this is pretty good. And been like, this is bad.
I don't know. She has always made my skin crawl in a way that, like, if I'm at a bar and they're playing Katy Perry, we got to go. We have to leave. It's like seeing a bad cloud come in. I'm like, I have to leave. This is not going to work.
No. Yeah, it's not good.
I don't want to be embarrassed when I'm out having fucking fun with my friends.
Yeah. Well, do you want to be even more embarrassed for the whole group? So the spacesuits were really embarrassing. Did you see the picture of these?
No.
So I will say, to their credit, I don't want to be fully a hater. Back in 2019, they had been planning an all-female spacewalk with, I assume, 2 real astronauts who were up in space, but they couldn't do it because they didn't have 2 spacesuits who were designed for women.
Really?
So they had to reschedule, sort it, where it was a man and a woman who did the spacewalk instead. And that's obviously uncool, right? We would like for there to be spacesuits available for the women.
It's kind of strange, though. I mean, how much space, like, you know what I mean? Like, you would think that it would just be a big suit, like a unisex suit.
I mean, I hear you. I'm like, I'll just wear the men's one. But apparently, and fair enough, like you're going into literal space. I can understand being like, I want one that's designed so I don't die.
Yeah, right.
I would rather not die.
But it must be like a weight requirement more so than
it could.
Like, it's not sexy enough for the women. So
well,
they can't
so that was back in 2019, and so there was this big push where they were like, okay, we need to have more spacesuits for women available. Sure.
Yeah.
Lauren Sanchez does this huge article with, I think it was like the Times or something, talking about her helping design these spacesuits. Lauren Sanchez is not an astronaut, nor is she a designer. She is Jeff Bezos's plastic fiance.
Oh, they're not married yet?
No, they're still engaged. Isn't that wild?
That's taken a long time.
It's taken a long time.
Yeah.
Well, she got in touch with Fernando Garcia and Laura Kim, the co-founders of the brand Mons. Have you heard of this? No. They were also the creative directors of Oscar de la Renta, and had previously made her Met Gala outfit. So, of course, they are surefire hits to design the spacesuit.
Okay.
Because they don't go into space, they didn't need to have like the full-blown astronaut suit that would like literally go outside. They were just going to be sitting inside the shuttle, and if it exploded, like, sorry, you're gonna be toast no matter what. Don't know what to tell you.
Jesus,
but they still
scary.
They had to still work within some technical specifications. It was said, Mr. Garcia said, simplicity was important in comfort and fit, but we also wanted something that was a little dangerous, like a motocross outfit or a ski suit, flattering and sexy.
Okay.
Guys, why? Why do we need to fuck the just let them go be astronauts.
I mean, I guess that's just, if the whole thing is just PR and to promote Katy Perry's tour and whatever the fuck, then yeah, sure, make them sexy. Who cares? You know what? Like,
I mean, it's just so like embarrassing though that this is the first like that they're branding it as being this big feminist thing, but they're still hot. Don't forget, you'd want to bone them. What? Like, who cares?
I genuinely
send the bitches to space.
I mean, I really don't understand how this is feminist. Like, how in their mind they're.
Well, I think it's not.
Yeah. They're just going up there and coming down. They didn't do any, as far as I know, they didn't do any of the work in terms of the technology or any of it, really.
It's not cool. Miss Kim added, I personally would want to look very slim and fitted in my outfit. Fat shaming. Fat shaming. Apparently they went back and forth. They even had a meeting on what underwear Lauren is going to wear, which she replied, Skims.
All right.
Okay. Another
Great
brand
brand.
endorsement. Yeah. And then they said that they almost put a corset in her suit because they knew she wouldn't have been against it. Katy Perry then summed up the entire situation saying, "We're putting the ass in astronaut."
Shut up. She really
I'm
said
dead
that?
serious. I'm dead serious.
No.
I also listened to the audio of them going up. And when they first saw the moon, she goes, "Oh my goddess."
Oh my own. Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
She is such a freaking dork. It's crazy what a dork she is.
Oh my goddess.
Oh no.
She brought a daisy for her daughter Daisy. That's actually kind of cute.
That's nice.
That's kind of
I
cute.
didn't know she had kids.
She has a kid with Orlando Bloom,
Oh wow.
who I love. What the hell is that, Orlando Bloom?
Who
kind
knows?
of-
I mean, maybe
Kind
she's
of a red flag on Orlando Bloom.
To be honest, she might be a completely fucking different person because,
That's true.
you know, like this is obviously some curated weird artist thing that she is, and so maybe she's like actually cool in a regular
How
life.
funny would that be?
She does have grade A tits. I will say that. That's the most
Just
feminist thing that I'll contribute here is that she has
Bangin'.
humongous banging tits.
Bang and bod.
The body is tea,
The body is tea.
as the youths would say.
This is a picture of the spacesuits. They are curve hugging and bell bottoms.
I mean, they're cute as hell.
Yeah, they better be.
How
But like,
much do
why?
they cost to make each one?
I
Do you
don't
know?
I didn't see that stat. Probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
But yeah, I don't understand why we need to be sexy in space. Why do women have to be sexy everywhere?
I don't know.
In space? Like, come on,
Yeah.
give us a break.
We have to be sexy in space, when we're
Yeah, we're gonna
scuba diving.
put them in those little that little submarine that explodes. Or like, better look sexy
Better
though.
look sexy. If you're not sexy in the submarine, who cares?
Putting the ass in astronaut.
God. Oh, she is so embarrassing.
So cringe.
She really is. Okay, another cringe thing that I want to talk about is that I saw that a 45-year-old man has filed for divorce from his wife after she allowed Usher to seduce her on stage. Okay.
Okay, hall pass.
Well,
Hall pass.
here's the video. So she's like all up on him. She looks like she's actively having an orgasm.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't.
In public.
This video is tough. Even Usher's like, all right, lady.
Yeah.
Usher's like, all right.
But like he's getting real close to this fan. I gotta be honest.
I don't blame him. Like, I mean, I personally wouldn't do that, but I do realize a lot of what he's selling is like, you know, he needs every woman there to think that he's like borderline
no.
gonna fuck him.
Yeah, of course.
That's the music.
But I'm just saying, like, if I were him, I would be like, I don't want to get this close to some
Oh, yeah.
stranger. Like, ew, this is yucky. But
Oh my God.
yeah, they are. This woman is. She is having an orgasm. I don't think she looks like she is. I think she actually is.
Maybe she is. Maybe that's
Maybe
enough
she
for
is.
her. Good for her.
He's now feeding her something.
What
I
is
don't know.
that?
I don't know. What is that?
Oh,
Oh.
yikes. Cherries.
It's-
Ew.
okay, it's
All right,
cherries.
this is a lot.
Okay, now I really agree with this man. This man should divorce this woman.
Yeah, if I did that, Matt would say, we're going to have a conversation.
Absolutely. And it's so funny because everyone's like, oh my God, they're so fucking insecure, this guy. And I'm like, if Mark were behaving like this in front of
I'd be upset.
Shakira or someone who's not such an outdated reference, Sabrina Carpenter, I would be like,
Upset.
you humiliated me.
Right. You also like, there's cameras right there. It wasn't like this wasn't going to be broadcast
Yeah.
somewhere.
Ooh, that was fucking weird.
That was really weird.
Anyway,
Wow.
I hope Usher's available because her husband has since left her.
Yes. Yeah. Now Usher's like, you've got to be kidding me. She was like, hey, remember me? Yeah, with the cherries.
Did you see how I licked those cherries?
From the Pittsburgh concert? He's like, what? Yeah,
I
well,
was stage left at your concert that was very poorly attended because you're Usher in the year of 2025.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough. Does he still
Wow.
make music?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure he's got like a new single out or two or whatever. But
I
he
liked,
did.
I liked that guy.
He did the Super Bowl not too long ago. Remember?
Oh, yeah. I like him.
Yeah.
Good.
Was that last year? Why can't I remember? No, that was Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick
obviously.
Lamar was this year or whatever.
I think it was the year
2025.
before that he did the Super Bowl.
No.
But anyway, point being, that was really scandalous.
That is very scandalous. I would be extremely upset. I don't even want Matthew to say he wants a hall pass for someone. Even the suggestion of the concept, I'm like, no.
No.
What?
Well, also the thing with our husbands and the line of work that they do, Like,
yeah, it's
they
too real.
Yeah, it's way too real.
Way too real. I don't
Yeah.
like that. Not allowed.
Like if Mark was like, I want to bang Aubrey Plaza, I'd be like, you could easily meet Aubrey Plaza.
Absolutely.
Like-
And she's unfortunately single now. Ooh. So
Yikes.
sad. That one was objectively so sad.
That was tough.
God.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, her husband died.
Died. Yes, he died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's all I have on that. But yeah, God
Well,
bless.
That was fun.
She was probably just trying to scare her husband.
Yeah. She's like, fall in love with me. I'll scare you by trying to fuck Usher. And he was like, that worked too well.
Isn't this so spooky?
It was spooky. I got spooked.
That was spooky as fuck. That was
It was
crazy.
also not sexy. I did not think that. I did not find that sexual. Like,
I didn't, but
they clearly did. And I was like, ugh.
God bless.
Yeah, that was a turnoff. Okay. Coachella. Usher probably would have performed at Coachella. That's my segue.
Okay,
into
great.
this. 60% of Coachella general admission tickets this year were purchased through payment plans.
No.
That is not great financial choices, folks. You shouldn't be Klarna-ing your weekend.
You know, honestly, fuck it. That's what I say. You got one life to live.
Clearly, those people agree with you.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize this. A general admissions ticket to Coachella is $650
For the whole reason? For the whole weekend, though?
whole weekend. That's still a lot.
Okay.
In 2020, I was going to go in 2020. Famously,
yeah.
was not able to.
Yeah.
The whole world shut down. RIP. They were $430, which is still a lot. But that I was like, all right.
Yeah, for 3 days.
For
or
3
however it
days,
is. Yeah.
GA. I was like, that makes sense. They were $375 back in 2015. But obviously, that's not the only cost involved. Like, there's lodging, getting
Food,
there,
alcohol,
transportation,
drugs.
food, alcohol, drugs, outfits.
Outfits.
Apparently,
Oh,
the most
wow.
important part about going to Coachella. That's why I can't go. I can't pull together an outfit.
Let me tell you something. I'm in no way going to Coachella with this fucking loosey-goosey stomach at any time.
I thought you were going to say with this baby. And you're like, no. That's not a problem.
Yeah, I'm not. The baby is fine. I'm just going to slap some headphones on him. Whatever. Who cares? We're going to go to Charlie XCX's.
Oh, yeah. Have Miss Rachel take care of that for a few minutes. And...
Yeah.
Yeah. But, and apparently this festival it's gotten really like overcrowded. I guess they can charge as much as they want because people keep going to it.
True.
But the lines are crazy. Some people said that they were waiting in line for 12 hours.
Oh my
Which I don't
God.
understand. There weren't more details on that, but they were saying it's worse than Firefest. And
Really?
all of it can cost.
It looks fucking lit. As
To be fair,
hell on social
every
media.
experience I ever see for Coachella is like Justin Bieber's experience. And I'm
Right,
like, okay,
right.
well, he's bopping around on a golf cart.
That's true.
I'm assuming that's probably not what me, Laura Stogar, would be doing across Coachella. I would be
That's true.
hoofing it.
However, people that attend Coachella, and I totally would be one of these people. I just for whatever reason have never gone. I feel like their complaints don't resonate with me quite as much because I'm like, yeah, but you guys are just complainer type people. You know
That's
what I mean?
true. That's
You're
true.
like very, very like sheltered, spoiled people in general. So I'm like, if you're like, oh, no, the line was like really long. I'm like, okay, you're at a festival. Like it's gonna be a long line.
That's what's
like,
gonna
you had to
happen.
wait to go to the bathroom. Yeah.
That's the rule.
That's kinda how it goes.
That's what happens. Yeah. Well, they were saying it's worse than Fire Festival, but I agree with you. I think it's people who just haven't been really used to like going outside.
Right.
But it did look pretty fun.
It looked so fun.
Like Lady Gaga was doing her damn thing with the chessboard. I saw she took the flowers from one of her fans and incorporated it. So
I didn't
she
see
was
that.
great. Yeah, one of her fans brought like a bouquet of black roses.
Oh.
Which I don't know how you got that through security. I guess security was like, yeah, go off.
Well, they're plants.
Whatever, I guess. Just fine fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
But she took them and then was like using them as a prop in her
that's so
set.
cool.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
I would feel super cool if
Oh,
that had
yeah.
happened to me. And then Lisa, I think I'm saying that right. Lisa, maybe.
I think it's
from
Lisa.
It is
Yeah,
Lisa.
I think so.
From Blackpink performed and apparently was
AKA Mook.
Mook from Blackpink. We're all like, Mook, we know her. All her White Lotus co-workers were in the crowd.
Yeah.
Apparently her vocals were terrible.
Yeah.
I don't really care though. It's
don't
not really
care
the
at all.
point. Like, I don't
mean,
really care.
Really. Yeah. It's
She wore, like,
her
this-
point. The point of her is that she is like doing dancing and nice outfits
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
She wore like a snakeskin outfit. It looked cool. She's
That
covered in
was cool.
scales. I was like,
Yeah.
yes, this is it.
So I realized I don't know any Blackpink songs, I don't think, but I know the individual artists from Blackpink. I recognize their songs.
I'm the opposite.
Okay.
I know, I think I I'm not gonna be able to tell you the titles of them because they're all like K-pop translations where it's like
Right.
Twilight Summer or whatever. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't
right,
like
right,
make
right.
a ton of sense in English.
Yeah.
But they're very catchy.
Yeah.
They're very like hip hop kind of.
Very much so. Yeah.
You know, I like it. It's fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know her individual songs at all. Can you sing me some? No.
I mean, not really. That's the one that's like, woke up in the da da da, and it's like, yeah, and then they like whatever.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, you know the one. You know? And then I think it's called "Fuck
You're
Up
ready
the
for
World."
Coachella.
I'm ready for Coachella. I'm like her vocals suck.
Yeah.
This is how you say it. Yeah, it literally is like, da 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 da. Please don't call my phone again. Yeah. And then-
Yeah.
That's truly what it sounds like. That's my best impersonation.
That was very good. That was very good.
Okay, so let's see what else. Speaking of confidence and faking it till you make it, there is a man that was posing as a British heart surgeon in India, and he caused multiple deaths.
Oh, why?
Because men will rather just fake it till they make it and be like, I could probably do this.
He watched Catch Me If You Can, and he was like, "Yeah, it's fine." And then
Yeah.
he has an open heart in front of him, and he's like, "Oh,
Well, he's probably like, I can wing this. I
yeah,
can totally do
just
this.
close it up again."
It made me think about I'm sure you've seen this where they interviewed there was some study done where they interviewed like let's say 100 people. It might have been 1,000, but it was like 100 men, and they asked with no aviation experience, and they asked them if they could like land a plane if they so had to, and and 50% of all those men were like, of course.
Wow.
Of course I could land this plane.
You absolutely could not.
And
folks.
so
that's because they played like flight simulator games, and they're like,
Right.
"That's the same.
Exactly.
That's the same." And it is helpful. I will say that, but no.
Yeah.
But
But
no.
how funny is that? So I was like, this is the same type of energy. So he's obviously going to jail probably.
Yeah, I would imagine. I would
Yeah.
imagine. It is so funny how everybody complained about like not everybody, but a lot of men specifically complained about DEI when like they've been fucking winging it as well. I'm like,
Everyone's
okay, so
winging it with
you're
everything,
trying
to
to
be
say
honest.
all these guys that are in charge know what they're doing? Like they're like, oh, these people are underqualified. So are you guys. So is this heart surgeon.
I mean,
know?
well, yeah, but he's like this person is
Well, that
committing
person's
a
a clear
crime.
fraud, but what about the guy one level below him?
Okay.
You know?
What about the people hiring him? How about that?
Exactly.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly.
But it's actually fascinating because you hear the story like this and you're like, well, there must be some weird case where he got around the radar in India, whatever. This type of shit happens in the United States of America. There are people that like they will, be surgeons somewhere, do a horrible job, get fired, go to a different hospital, and there's no fucking checks and balances because the previous hospital they were at doesn't want to admit that they had someone working for them that
was not
needed
good.
to get fired.
That was not.
How
yeah.
crazy is that?
It's
like, guys, these are lives we're doing.
I'm sure it's going to get
we're
fixed
dealing
soon, May. Don't you worry. I'm sure they're going to pass regulations that require us to track better. No, it's really fucked. I think you need to, especially if you're getting surgery, make sure you know the resume of the person involved.
Yeah.
If possible.
Yeah. I didn't at all for both of my surgeries, but they turned out fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So anyway, also my next one is also from India today. That's
The Financial Times of India.
the Financial
.com?
Times of India.com.
My favorite website.
I spent so much time
So
on
much
that.
time on it.
Anyway, this read like that Seinfeld episode where Kramer dropped a junior mint inside that patient, the one. But anyway, there was a woman who had a C-section, and I think it was 17 years later, she found out that the doctors left scissors inside of her.
Okay, yikes.
Yeah.
I've heard of versions where they've left rags inside people, but scissors, like, wouldn't you figure that out immediately? You could just like
You would
do like
imagine?
any x-ray.
You would imagine. I guess she didn't need an x-ray until 17 years later, and then they were like, wait a minute. There's surgical
my
scissors
God.
inside of you. Isn't
From her
that
C-section.
from her C-section?
They were like, oh, it's an IUD. There you go. That's fine.
I mean, I'm assuming she didn't get pregnant after this because
Clearly.
well, obviously not, because she would have had an ultrasound. But like, that might have killed her. Like expanding things around. And
Oh, sure. It
you
just
know what I mean?
stabs you.
Obviously, it would just in there perfectly.
Oh my
but
God.
I like love to think about this woman. I don't love to think about it, but I think about the fact that like afterwards, you're in all these like mom groups and people are like, is anyone else still experiencing pain from your C-section? She's like 10 years in. She's like, yes,
Dude, it's
what
not.
the fuck?
It's just not healing. I feel like I'm being stabbed from the inside. You guys too?
Yeah, every
guys
day. She's like, I guess this woman is tough as nails.
That woman is hard.
She's just like, yeah, I don't know, man. I had a C-section. I guess this is just life now. Like, I guess I just can't control when
Her
I
husband's
pee.
over there.
Also,
Her husband's having a sympathy pregnancy next to her. She's like, shut the fuck up.
dude, I had scissors inside of me for 17 years.
That is wild. Good for her. That's the lady we should send to space.
Yeah, right?
She has earned it.
She's a fucking badass. But anyway, she's obviously suing the...
Yeah. Where did you say this was? Also in India?
It was also in India,
Maybe it
yes.
was that same surgeon. He just does not know
He
what
doesn't
he's
know what
doing.
he's doing.
Leaving stuff.
Dude, that is fucking crazy. Oh, man. You know what's a fun straw man argument that I see online a lot? Specifically, Jason Kelsey's wife, who has that podcast about, I think it's about parenthood and whatever. But she was like, anyone who says cesarean births are not real births can kiss my ass. And I'm like, who is saying that?
I've never seen someone say that.
Who the fuck is genuinely saying that?
No, they just create these people to box.
Right.
Boxing ghosts.
No. I was like, I literally have never once thought that about myself.
Baby came out of you. Birth.
I had birth. I gave birth.
Yeah, that is a baby and is now out of you. It's a version of birth. If you say it's not a natural birth, okay.
Right.
But I don't think people are out there like yelling about that. No,
They're not. They're
no one actually
absolutely
thinks about it
not.
or cares.
Nobody
ever.
fucking gives a shit. So anyway, that's that. So God bless to that lady. Yeah. And
Do you have
then
anything else?
I do. I just wanted to show you what LeBron James's feet look like. I don't know if
Oh,
you've seen
please.
this or not. This is
Oh, I perk up. I'm like, oh, let's see that.
this is from End
Hey.
Back Pain.
What the fuck is that?
The account is End Back Pain, and yeah,
Is that part of what's happening there?
it is like a bunion gone rogue.
Oh my God. Why though, LeBron?
I don't know. And everyone's like, oh, it's from playing basketball. I'm like,
No, it's
what?
not. Also, you're rich, LeBron. Figure that out.
Yeah.
Do you think he's just scared to get it removed? Like it's like his good luck bunion? He's like, I've been playing so well. I can't get rid of it now.
Maybe. You'd think he'd be in so much pain. This is, by the way, just a photo of my feet because I haven't had a pedicure in months and months and months. I have not had a pedicure since before my child was born, I don't think.
You gotta get a pedicure.
Born
It's-
via cesarean.
You better get a pedicure before my bachelorette.
Oh my God, could you
Or
imagine?
you cannot come.
I can't come. They won't let me off the plane.
No,
They're
they'll
like,
be like,
ma'am, this is a
"Ew."
biohazard.
Ew. His toes are like underneath one another.
They're underneath
He
one another.
looks-
They also have a fungus going on. There's a fungus happening on that big toe. What is that?
Yikes.
like-
LeBron. Why though?
I don't know.
We need to put a GoFundMe together. Get LeBron James a pedicure.
I feel like
He needs to go on one of those like TikTok channels. You know, when they have like the
Yes.
super matted hair or whatever and they like
Yes.
untangle it or like fix someone's like, nails or something like that. Oh.
That would be really satisfying. I feel like I've seen on TikTok or somewhere that you can like attach something here and then crank it it's almost like braces, but for your feet.
Yeah, to pull it back in.
Pull it back so that this bone just goes straight again.
It's what? Like, that's your job, buddy, is to run around. That's got to fuck his knees up.
Might be the stupidest thing I've ever said, but no, I've said a lot of really stupid things before on this podcast specifically and almost exclusively on this podcast. But
For the record.
for the record, anyway, what I'm asking is he still playing?
Yes.
Or is he just like really annoying online now and that's his job?
I don't even know what he's doing online. LeBron James, recent games, Friday, April 11th.
Okay, great.
And they won. The Los Angeles
Okay.
Lakers won. So clearly the bunion didn't stop him too much.
Nice.
Nice. Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that bunion is like really hanging in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he played for 22 minutes and got 14 points
Is that
with a
good?
deformed ballerina foot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's all. I mean, it's number 2 and Rui Hachimura beat him from the Lakers.
I wonder if
Okay.
yeah, I wonder if people with a foot fetish would be like, yes.
A very specific, even the foot fetish people are like, all right, we like nice feet.
Yeah.
Like nice, clean, pretty feet.
It's
right?
yeah, I think so. It's actually kind of amazing to me that Feet Finder and places like that are still so lucrative because one, you just go out in the summertime and they're out. The dogs are out.
Dogs are out.
The dogs are barking and they're out. And so it's like, so what's the point of going on Feet Finder? There must be something else going on where they're like rubbing up the feet against dicks or something, right?
Probably. I also think Feet Finder mostly makes money off of people going on Feet Finder too. Like you have to pay to put your content on there.
Oh, really? Oh, so it's mostly
So I think
just
it's mostly a scam.
okay.
I think that maybe I'm wrong. I should look into this. I'll look into this.
Yeah. God bless.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
all right.
Well, that's
listen.
it. You guys, we didn't even tell you. So next week we have a interesting announcement, sort of an update to the show. I think you'll really like it.
Yes.
And we're really excited about it. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have some announcements on social media. And we're going to be trying to put out more clips as well. So we love you guys as an audience on YouTube, but we are
appreciate
trying to
you.
get more of you. So we tell you every week to like and subscribe and tell your friends. Please continue doing that. It's really improved the show and helps us keep going and helps us, get people to advertise with us, all that stuff. It really just helps us move forward. And then also
this program was sponsored in part by viewers like you.
Yeah. But the point is that, so we have more clips coming out. We're going to be pushing those out so you can engage with us a little bit more online. And
see us
that's it.
live.
See us live. I
Yep.
perform in New York right now. You can follow my tour schedule at May_Planner and
Yep.
Laura.
You can follow me at Laura Sogar. I am mostly also in New York for the next 6 weeks or so, but then I'll be going on the road a bit with Matthew again for the rest of the summer.
Yes.
But first I got to get married.
Laura's
So-
getting married, so stay tuned for content
Stay tuned
about
for that. Yes. And we will
and like and subscribe on YouTube. Thanks so much.
see you next week. Bye.
Where's the money?
I don't understand how you make money
Hold
from
on.
that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm going to ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's risque business news.